It's a new year, so how can you make it your best year yet? Well, my next guest says he has the answers. He's a psychotherapist and the author of 40 nonfiction books. That's right, I said 40. His latest book is hashtag chill. Turn off your job and turn on your life. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Bryan Robinson. Hey, Dr. Robinson, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, 2020, as we all know, was such a bad year for so many people. And, 2021, we had hopes and dreams, but it's a little rough too right now. But you say you have some tips to help us make this a really great year. So I want to get right into your tips. Your first piece of advice, you say, is to focus on the upside of what may be a downside situation.
That's right. Our natural inclination whenever something negative or bad happens is to focus on the problem, because that's how we're hardwired by Mother Nature. But if you look for the upside of a downside, or if you look for the solution in the problem, it actually widens your perspective. The mind's like a camera, and naturally we're going to zoom in on the thread if it's negative or scary, but we have the power. I always say grass grows through concrete. We have the power to put on that wide angle lens, and when we do that, it changes our whole perspective. Everything looks different, and the beauty of that is we start to feel different on the inside. I call it the C spot. It's where you feel calmer, more optimistic, you feel more creative, you feel more confident in whatever that circumstance is. It works whether it's a small thing that we're hit with, a curveball, or whether it's a big tragedy.
Yeah, well, you talk about perspective, and, that's a really great point, because your next thing you say is, when you look at 2020, don't frame it as only misery that need to be endured. Actually take it, analyze it, and look at it as a lesson that you can learn from, right?
That's right. If I think of when, say, bad things happen, if I think of that as, is this happening to me or for me? Now, if you really think about that, it changes everything. If you can think about, okay, how is this happening for me? What can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I build my skills, or how can I be more resilient in this situation? Neuroscientists call this the resilient zone. It's actually something that widens over time. When we start to use some of these tools, you start to notice in situations that seem impossible to accomplish that they become smoother and easier simply because of the perspective that you take in those obstacles.
You also advise people to take chances. So I'm interested in hearing about that.
That sounds contradictory in a way, but when we stick our neck out a little bit, and I'm not talking about in a dangerous way, I'm talking about stretching ourselves a little bit into new territory, or maybe if you're an introvert and you're not used to going out to a party before COVID and after COVID, stretching yourself a little bit, sticking your neck out helps you realize how resourceful you are. It helps you feel the power within yourself. And this is one of the most powerful things any of us who's watching right now, and those of you who are on set, can do. And that is, when you stick your neck out, most of the time, it's not going to get chopped off. You're going to actually realize, man, I'm stronger than I realized before I ever did this. So I'm glad I did it.
I love your final thought for 2021, making it the best year. Share with our audience what that final thought is.
I had a client once who came barreling into my office for our session. This man built skyscrapers, and he was so angry. And I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "I have to pay $500,000 in taxes this year." And I knew right away what the session was going to be about. And I don't usually ask this, but I said, "How much did you earn?" And he mumbled, 10 or 15 million. This was a rich man leading an impoverished life. But he didn't, by the end of the session, he was able to step back and see, wow, $10 million. How many people make that much in a year or in a lifetime? So many of us are more fortunate than we realize, but sometimes it takes stepping back and really looking at the big picture. And that's what I would encourage everybody to do in 2021, no matter how dire the circumstances are right now that we're living in.
Dr. Bryan Robinson, thank you so much